Hey everyone, welcome back. My name's Amy if we've not met before. Thank you so much for clicking onto this video. Today, instead of doing like a December favourites, I'm going to do a December updates because I have struggled with plants this month. They've not been bringing as much joy as they usually do for me, which is fine. We all go through those phases, it's okay, but that means I haven't really had any favourites. I've probably only really had 2 or 3 that I've been like consistently checking in on, and 2 or 3 plants isn't really enough to make a video about. So I thought I'll do an updates video instead, and if you're interested, I'm going to be doing like a bit of, well, to begin with, it's going to be like planty updates, and then to end with, I'm going to do some like personal updates. So that is my plan for today's video. To begin with, I am going to show you some new plants that I got this month. I got 4 plants this month, which feels a bit unusual for me these days. Like, I know last month I got 4 new plants, but that was an import from Ecuador. But like month to month these days, I don't tend to bring in too many new plants into my home, I don't think. So to have 4 in December feels a bit unusual. So the first one I'm going to show you is, I'm considering it like a substitute of a wish list plant because it looks, in my head, I think it looks really similar. I think it's similar enough for it to be, like, it's hit the spot for me. I'm just going to show you. I can't remember what the plant is on my wish list. I think this looks like what the name is of it, but I'll insert a photo of the plant that was on my wish list. And then this is the plant that I feel is replacing it. And it's so delicate and petite and tiny that you probably, I don't even know if you're going to be able to pick it up on camera what it is, but it's called a prostrata, which is a name that's still not sticking in my head just yet. And it was £8. I thought that was really good. So I saw it in a local shop. I think it's pronounced Mum Pot. I'll have them tagged below if you're Bristol. Like, have a little mooch in there. They're a lovely shop. Anna, who runs it, is someone I know from like previous life as a nanny. She's really lovely. The shop is amazing. They have a website as well, so definitely check it out. It's not all plants, like it's homeware and like kids gifts, and it's a really lovely shop. I got these earrings from there too, actually. My little stars. My jumper fluff is already on it. So what was I saying? £8, and it was kind of like all screwed together like this. And I just saw it and I was like, oh my god, I need it. I'm gonna get up close to see if you can really see it. Can you like see how tiny like the leaves are? How cute is it? I am such a fan. I think, I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with it. I've just kind of let it like, this month's been pretty hectic for me, and I've kind of brought it in, I've put it into this pot and I've just left it to figure out what on earth's going on. But there's like 3 stems in here, but I was thinking of maybe separating them and kind of letting one just grow wild, and potentially trying to like maybe like bonsai the other one, kind of, you know, make it look like a little tree. I don't really know how they grow. I think they're kind of like bushy in like the wild, in nature. I'm not really sure. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I needed it. I saw it and I was like, I need that. That's on my wish list. And obviously it wasn't on my wish list. As I said, it's a substitute because I think it's good enough to take the other one off my wish list, if that makes sense. But I feel like I've not got the best spot for it. I think it would look really good in like just on a shelf somewhere, really simple kind of decor, so that you can see the beauty and the kind of elegance of this plant. And I haven't really got that space for it, so I don't really know where I'm going to display it. but I'm really happy that I have it. So that was it the first plant I got? I think it was the first plant I got in December actually. My first new plant, and it was only £8. I thought that was really good. Because I've never seen it before for sale in the UK. And I think it looks so cute. So that's that one. My first new plant of December. I feel really weird because I haven't got my glasses on. I'm using my ring light today because it is so dull and grey. And when I've got my glasses on, all you can see is the ring. It's a bit distracting, so I've taken them off and now I feel like my face is naked. But anyway, the next plant that I got that I would like to share with you is my very first, I'll show you why I'm laughing. It's my very first jewel orchid that has obviously had a leaf die off, and where it's like really humid, it's just like gone. You see how like fluffy and moldy that leaf is? I will remove that. I'm not going to remove it right now because I don't want to touch that with my fingers. So yeah, I've never had a jewel orchid before. Steve actually bought me this as part of my Christmas present, but I've had it since kind of the first week of December, kind of in the cabinet, because he's not bad at plants, but I wouldn't want this to be like hidden away and kept as a surprise for me. So I've had this Christmas present for the majority of this month, and I love it. I think it's just such a stunning leaf, and it's making me want to add more jewel orchids to my collection. This is my first one. I've never had them before. So far it seems okay. It's been in this cloche, which I don't think it needs. It doesn't need this higher humidity, but I wanted to get it into the cabinet because I know they do like higher humidity, that they do well in terrariums. And I couldn't see any pests. I did like quite a thorough check, but the garden centre that I got it from I know does sometimes have thrips, so I put it in the cloche to try and prevent any spread of any pests that it might have had, whilst still being able to look after it to the best of my ability. But it's been in there for, like I said, basically a month now, and I've not seen any pests on it whatsoever, like not even fungus gnats, which godsend from that garden centre. But I think it's probably getting a bit too much humidity, so I'm going to take it out of the cloche, going to remove that leaf and just let it sit in the cabinet. I will keep it in the cabinet, I just won't keep it in this cloche. I've got no idea about soil substrate for these plants. I'm still so new to them, so I'm just going to probably do a little bit of research and try and figure out how best to care for it. But there are so many growth points on here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 big ones, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 tiny little ones that are like branching off of the stems already. So it's gonna be such a bushy plant. I'm really excited about it. I would really like the one that's similar to this but more like red, like kind of darker, almost brown leaves, and then like the lightning bolt veining is like a red colour. I'd like that one too. So maybe jewel orchids is a plant genus that I will be branching out into in the new year. But my second plant, and then the next two I got are these two here. I got them from the Whitehall Garden Centre in Chippenham. Me and Steve went up there on the day that it snowed, and it was so Christmassy there. It was lovely. But this is a Anacampsaros Rough Sunshine is what it's called on this label, and this is a sedum rubrotinctum rosea. I'll have the names on the screen. This one seems less happy. There's a little bit of like mold on the soil, and it was pinkier when I picked it up. Like that was what was attracted me to it. It had pinkier leaves, kind of like, they weren't all this kind of reddy pink, but it's definitely lost some of the pink. And I'm just thinking that it must just be lack of light. Like it has been really dull here. So maybe in the warmer months it'll be more of a tinged pink again. But I think it's really cute. I had picked it up because it had pink. It just looked really unusual. But that one's cute. And then this one has changed shape. It's definitely like, again, probably because of light, it's like stretched out a little bit. It was a bit more compact, but it's got really bright hot pink, kind of hot fuchsia pink underleaves. And again, it was the pink that I was obviously having like a pink plant day. It was the pink that attracted to them. So I'm not really a succulent girl. I'm really winging it with these guys. I don't know what I'm doing with them. But those are my 4 new plants. I forgot to say at the beginning, like, happy in between Christmas and New Year week. It's that time of the year where, like, who knows what day it is. There's kind of rubbish on TV. The apartment's a bit of a mess because it's got, you know, Christmas gifts and cards and so much excess food everywhere. It's a really weird week, isn't it? So happy chaotic week to you. I think now I will do the updates. Okay, so I think the first update I'm going to show you is this new leaf on my big monstera. Oh, sorry, coconut palm. She is unfurling. I feel like she's going to be a nice big one. And when I turned these lights on to show you that leaf, I spotted this here. I don't really know where that new leaf's planning on going, but that is another new leaf that is going to be coming out. So yeah, this plant is just getting chaotic. One day I will cut it. I keep saying I'm going to cut it. One day I actually will. What other updates do I want to show you? Oh, so another update I can show you is the Thai constellation leaf. I'm not actually going to get it down to show you it front facing, but like, isn't it pretty? I've not had any really big chunks of the creamy colour, so I'm intrigued to see that. I think it is turning. So it's definitely closer to the plank than it was. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to remove the plank so that it can turn without kind of hitting it, and then reassess whether, because it's not actually using the plank at all. I just put it in there to try and encourage bigger growth, but it's not using it, so I may as well just get rid. What else can I show you? Oh, so just before I started filming this video, is that blurry? That's not focusing, is it? I decided, so this was, or is, an Anthurium Walkrianum trunk, and it came off of my Anthurium in my cabinet. It was like a really big long chunk, and on this section, these were all together a minute ago, on this section there was 3 growth points, and so I put it into a bag of moss, and this growth point has activated, as you can see. There's a little pup going on. That's not focusing. So you can see that there's a pup there, and the root is attached to the chunk, not the pup. So this was literally about half an hour ago. This was one big chunk, but I've decided to separate it because on this chunk, this thing here, which you can't see because it's not focusing. So this here is another growth point, and then on this one, that bit there sticking out is another growth point. And so they were all one chunk, and I was, you know, those other 2 growth points have kind of been doing something but not a lot, and I just thought the chunk is probably putting so much energy into this pup that these aren't getting a look in. So I thought if I separate them, it might kind of force them into action and they might actually grow, but at the same time they might not. But I'm just letting them kind of callus over, and I'm going to put them into some moss, and I'm going to pop this one in some moss as well, and eventually this pup should sprout its own root system and I can just chop it off, and then this chunk will be it'll be useless because there are no more growth points on it, so I'll put it in the bin. But just letting them callus over for now, and hopefully I could potentially have 2 more pups. If those both do grow, I'll have 4 queens, which is pretty insane. Never did I think I'd have 4 queens. What else can I update you on? I suppose I can go into the cabinet. There's a few things I can update you on. Sorry about that noise in here. So the Peltigerum leaf has been, oh my god, focus. It's because the light's so bad. So the new leaf has been making moves. It's been growing. I don't know if there's any new root growth. No, there's no new root growth in there, but the leaf's doing something, so I guess it means it's sort of happy. This is, oh, I've got the like mother light grow light here. This is my Anthurium sagittatum, and I just, like, there are some leaves, lower leaves dying off, and I do wonder if that's because it got so cold, but I just can't get over how this leaf and this leaf are from the same plant. It's completely different, and it's still so green. Like, I can't wait for it to harden off and darken properly. That's just beautiful. I think what I want to do in the new year is get my Philodendron Florida Beauty onto a pole. I feel like it'll really, like a good moss pole, I think it'll really enjoy that, because next year I really want to size up these leaves. Really excited about those. My Anthurium dresslerii is, I think, again got cold, but this new leaf seems to be pretty happy. Still not completely hardened off. I hope it's been turning, so I hope it kind of continues to turn to fill in this little gap here. Ooh, I've got a not so positive update. So this here, oh look how sad it looks. This is my Philodendron 69686, and I don't know what's happened, but look at all of those yellowing leaves. Like, that is so sad. It started off on the kind of lower ones, and I thought it had dried out, so I gave it some water, and it had dried out, so I think water it did need, but I'm wondering if it's because it got cold. Like, it looks so sad. Like, even this one, which is the 4th leaf down, just looks super sad. So I feel like a lot of those leaves are going to end up dying off, and it's going to end up looking a bit ridiculous. So I might end up chopping it, which I'm really sad about, because I was hoping it would like really glow up with its new pole, but hey, mistakes happen. Like, I really have struggled with plant care this month, just because of how rubbish I've been feeling. So there's definitely not a lot of really positive things going on. I haven't seen anything more. I think I mentioned in my Equigeneral updates about the bump here. Like, it still feels very bumpy, but it's not emerged yet on my queen. I feel like that's all of the updates I've got for you, really, which is less than I thought there was going to be, but I'm struggling to spot anything particularly exciting to share with you, or particularly distressing to share with you. Okay, let's get on with the personal updates now. Whew, trying to get comfortable to give you the personal updates. So I hope you enjoyed those planty updates. If you're sticking around for the personal updates, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a nosy kind of person like I am. I really enjoy, like, I don't know, I've got some real favourites on YouTube, and I love knowing more about them than just like their plant collection. Like, I like knowing just more about what they've got going on in their family, and like obviously only what they want to share, but I feel like it just kind of creates that relationship a little bit more. So, you know, I really like that and enjoy that with the YouTubers that I follow and subscribe to. So I want to be that person as well. So I have my cup of tea in my Christmas mug, because I can still drink out of my Christmas mug even though it's after Christmas now. I do hope that you had a lovely Christmas weekend, or if you're somebody that really doesn't enjoy Christmas, I hope that you were gentle and kind with yourself, because it's okay to not enjoy it. If you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope that you just had a weekend. And now we're all heading towards the new year, and yeah, I'm rambling. So a few of you have reached out. I thought I had a chip in my mug then. A few of you have reached out in different ways to check if I'm all right, because I haven't seen myself in my last couple of videos, and I mean, I don't think I was trying to hide it particularly. Like, I wasn't myself, and I'd said in those, a squirrel is destroying my bird feeder. I got a new one today. He's already distracted me. Yeah, I don't think I tried to hide it in those videos. I did say that I wasn't feeling my best, and you know, I was doing more chilled videos than maybe I would have otherwise done. I haven't been myself. I have been really struggling this month. And I've been struggling this month for like a variety of reasons. I think I am somebody that enjoys Christmas, and I'm also somebody that doesn't enjoy Christmas. Like I said on Instagram, that I feel my most Christmassy and like my most festive, spirity kind of in the first couple of weeks, like end of November, first couple of weeks of December. I am there. Like, I love the decorating, I love the Christmas music and the scents and the taste of Christmas, and I love the idea of being, you know, seeing loads of people and doing loads of things, and like that is when I feel my most festive. And then it kind of gets to the middle, maybe like a week, maybe even a week and a half before Christmas, and I start to struggle a little bit. Like, I can't wait for it to be done. And I feel awful saying it. Like, I know, or I feel like there's like a lot of like maybe stigma, I don't know, judgment for people that just don't enjoy Christmas. And I think as I'm getting older, I'm struggling a little bit more each year with it. There's an airplane or a helicopter. Sorry. Yeah, I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm struggling more with it. I'm not really sure why. Like, I know part of it is, I suppose, having my ADHD diagnosis now, I know that a lot of it is to do with that. Like, I find, you know, social situations difficult, and I know that's because they're exhausting for me, because I'm masking, and you know, it's still so early. I have no idea what not masking looks like, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to fully take off the mask, because people know me for me with the mask on. And I don't know if, I guess there's a fear that I wouldn't be accepted without the mask on, because I don't know who I'd be without it on. that's a different topic, I think, that I'm not going to get into. I think that could be a really long rambly topic. Both the squirrels are here. So yeah, I find the kind of like, I know that's not really pressure, but there also kind of is, like, to see family and friends, and I love my family and friends, but I feel like throughout December I do like a year's worth of socialising. Like, I'm not a social busy bee person and it's like all the way through the month there's people to see and joy to give and spread. And you know, if you are a friend or a family member in real life, I'm not complaining. I don't not want to see you. I just struggle with the sheer amount that's all squeezed in. And I know that, or I'm pretty sure every person in my family and friendship groups will understand that and will say to me, like, there's no expectation to see us, like, it's fine, yada yada. But I think I'd feel equally awful if I didn't see people. So yeah, I know that that's been part of my struggles this month. I know that's been part of it. So that's one thing. I've struggled with the festive season. That's one thing, and we're like getting over it now. I've seen people. I've still got a couple of people to see, but we're near the end. So nearly there. So yeah, that's part of it. And so in my other videos, when I mentioned I wasn't feeling myself, I mentioned about being anemic, and I did get some blood tests done, and I wasn't actually anemic, but I think that I was. But when I had my blood test done, I'd already started making changes to help myself. So when I got my blood test results back, like, my iron levels were low, like below where they should be, like on the cut-off point for normal ranges, like low. And my like the hemoglobin, I was literally on the cusp of being like 0.2 away from being classed as anemic. So I think had I'd had my blood test the week before, probably would have been anemic. But it's good that what I'm doing is already making a difference. I feel so much better already. Like, I'm way less out of breath. My headaches have reduced greatly, thank goodness. And kind of all the other things that was going on have improved. So what I'm doing is obviously making things better, and I will continue to look after myself. I was also really low in vitamin D, and like, I'm not amazing at taking vitamins, but normally I'm a bit more on it with vitamin D in the winter months, because we just don't get enough here in the UK of like the sun for it, the vitamin D from the sun to really do anything. And I just let that slip. So like, that can make you really miserable if you're low in vitamin D. So I'm doing all the things there to physically help myself, but I think alongside being like, you know, run down and deficient in a few different things, I'd also got like this cold that, I mean, I was tested negative, wasn't COVID, but Steve had COVID. I don't know. I don't know if I trust the tests all that much, but I had this horrible cold and I felt horrific, and I had some time off work, and like, just physically within myself was not feeling great. Emotionally and mentally was feeling very overwhelmed and just kind of struggling with that. Me and Steve are going full-time in the new year, which there's a whole update about that. And you know, I'm not looking forward to being full-time. It's really trying very hard to ignore it, because it does get me down when I think about it. So I think that there was pressure around that, mentally and emotionally as well. And there's been a few things happen in my family, which I won't go into detail, but like, you know, events where we've had to go into hospital to visit a family member, and then another family member died. It's been a lot happening this month, like, and I'm sure there's things that I'm forgetting that I'm not mentioning here, because it's just this whole month's just felt really a lot. So yeah, I've not been myself this month, and I know the videos I've put out haven't been amazing, or I mean, it was, you know, it was hard. Like, I know I don't have to film. I know I don't have to film. I can take time off. Like, I don't owe anybody a video or whatever. Like, I know that, and I know that you would all understand if I didn't have a video get put up. But I wanted to film. Like, I wanted to keep that routine for me, because if I didn't, I think I would have felt worse. But at the same time, filming can be exhausting, and then editing can be exhausting, especially when I'm not like on top form. Like, it's not fun to edit a miserable me. So yeah, you know, thank you if you have watched those videos. I know they're not my best, and I appreciate if you've kind of stuck through them, or if you've commented, or if you liked, so thank you very much. But hopefully today you can see that I am feeling a bit better in myself. Like, you know, this month is coming to an end, and even though that means going full time, which I'm not looking forward to, like, I'm ready for the new year. I do enjoy New Year. Like, I enjoy it in the sense that it does feel like a fresh start, and I'm looking forward to that. Like, I feel like next year could be a really good year for us, even though we need to be full time. But on the subject of us going full time, so my current video schedule is every Wednesday and every other Saturday, and I feel like I'm anticipating, at least, whilst I'm settling into being a full-time working person again, I might need to drop that Saturday upload. I still really want to do every Wednesday, and I've got like a bit of a plan in my head as to how I can do that, like when to film, when to edit. So I think I can still do every Wednesday, and I would eventually like to get the Saturdays back up there. But whilst I'm settling in, I'm gonna, you know, give myself some grace and just allow myself to drop the Saturday upload and just do Wednesday uploads for now. Yeah, so that's an update for this channel, really. I suppose, you know, there's not going to be 6 videos going out a month. There's going to be 4 in a 4-week month. I don't really know what else I want to say. I thought that was a bit of a dreary update, wasn't it? But it's just reflecting kind of what like the space that I've been in this, I've really been struggling. And you know, I think part of some of it as well was, so I've had my ADHD diagnosis. It'll be a month tomorrow, and you know, if you've read the blog I wrote, or if you watched the video about me updating, I think you probably would have seen that I was quite positive about the diagnosis, and I was feeling good, and everything made sense, and it still does. I still do feel positive, but I went into a bit of not a downward spiral, but I felt really low about it quite suddenly, like I wasn't expecting to. And I know a lot of the like ADHD, like late diagnosis ADHD community talk about it being this roller coaster, and how you go through like a grief cycle, and I think I said that in the other video as well. But I thought I felt really good about it. I thought I'd come to terms with it, and I'd done the kind of feeling crappy about it earlier in the year before the actual official diagnosis. But I'd say like a week later, I suddenly felt really low about it, and just, I think I'd had like a bad ADHD day where like I was really annoying myself with all the things that just kept going wrong because of my ADHD brain. And it just occurred to me that it's never not gonna be this way. Like I am, you know, I'm still titrating onto medication. I'm not on a therapeutic dose yet. Like I don't feel like they're doing anything at all right now. Like when I filmed that other video, it was the first day I tried it, and I was definitely aware that I was on medication that was different. But now it's like it's settled into my system, and I don't particularly feel like there's been much of a difference at all. So I hope, I don't know, a higher dose will make a bit of a difference, but I think it just hit me that it's never really going to be any different. And I know I've spent my whole life with it, and it's not changed who I am in that sense. Like, I've always had it and I've always managed, but now there's an answer, but there isn't a solution. Like, it can't be fixed or cured or anything. Like, medication can help, but this is lifelong, and yeah, like some days are really hard. Some days are really hard, and I just really hit a slump with it. But within that, I was able to be kinder to myself than I would have otherwise been pre-diagnosis. So I suppose that's a positive to take from it. Like, at least I know now why, and I can try and be like kind to myself and compassionate on the bad days instead of just beating myself up, which of course I still do. Whatever. But yeah. That was the most rambly update, wasn't it? I'm so sorry. I need to write these things down. I had a plan in my head to write down bullet points of what I wanted to share and discuss with you, and I didn't do it. That's an ADHD thing. I didn't do it. So I hope it made sense, and I hope I remembered everything that I wanted to tell you. I feel like I did. I don't know what else I want to say. I think I'm going to end the video. I guess, yeah, to take away, I hope you enjoyed the planty updates and seeing the new plants I got in December. Did you get any like planty things or any plants for Christmas? I would love to know. Let me know in the comments. I hope you had a lovely Christmas. I hope you have a very lovely new year. How do you feel about New Year? Like, are you like me? Do you feel like it's a positive kind of refresh vibe, or is it like, I don't know, do you find it really hard because you look back on this year and feel like you've not done enough? I don't know. I always feel like it's future thinking for me, New Year's. Like, I can't wait to see what next year will bring and put some plans in, and yeah, I'm feeling better than I have done in a little while. So I hope that shows a little bit in today's video. I hope you can see that I am feeling better in myself. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!